With the 2012 election behind us, the nation turns its focus to the future. It's time to unleash the innovation that powers our states and metros for doing more with less, for remaking federalism and renewing the economy, explain metropolitan policy experts Bruce Katz and Mark Muro in their new paper, Remaking Federalism, Renewing the Economy.
First set of challenges, we need more jobs and we need better jobs. Third challenge, we are about to hit a fiscal cliff. And frankly, we're in the middle of a fiscal crisis. By the end of this year, a whole number of tax cuts started in the Bush administration will expire. Early part of next year, if we don't act, we will begin to cut a whole series of federal programs by 8 to 10%. That, frankly, if we don't do this right, if we don't resolve this fiscal cliff, we could throw this country and our economy back into recession. Final piece, it's not enough just to get the federal fiscal house in order. We have a legacy government. Frankly, from our perspective, we have an anachronistic government with many programs and many policies that have just been built on top of each other over many decades and don't really grow this economy and move us to a new order. Now, as Washington begins to wrestle with these challenges, a jobs deficit, an opportunity gap, a fiscal cliff, and a legacy government, we think they need to look to our states and metropolitan areas because frankly, these are the engines of our economy, they are the centers of trade and investment, and they are the vanguard of policy innovation. They are balancing budgets and they are doing what they can in innovative ways to create jobs and restructure the economy. So as Washington does its work, let's find a way to strengthen our federal republic.
The answer is for Washington, in fact, to do less better, essentially to do things that set a platform for states and metros to execute and develop and in the way that Bruce has alluded to, but also to get out of the way. So we see sort of three themes. We think Washington needs to cut to invest in ways that will remove and cut back extraneous or in some cases counterproductive programs to create space for the kind of investment that we need in addition to deficit reduction. At the same time, we think we need to invest but reform. We have, as Bruce has suggested, a outmoded, rigid, categorically fissured government with a lot of rules and categories and stovepipes that needs to be overhauled in ways that will frankly help unleash the kind of bottom-up activity that we're enamored with. And then finally, we've got to strengthen federalism. There's a lot of innovative work going on out in the country in states and metropolitan areas. We need to find ways to aid and abet that, but also to find ways to scale it up, respond to it, and share it across the country.
We have a major jobs deficit in this country and we have an opportunity gap. And to grow more and better jobs, we're going to have to invest in what matters. Innovation, human capital, infrastructure. The fact is we have a national government that is investing in consumption. It's investing in things that actually help lead us into a recession, right? Because the pre-recession economy was characterized by consumption and debt. We want to move to an economy which is fueled by innovation and is powered by low and smart carbon and is driven by exports and global engagement and is rich with opportunity. So we've got to make the right investments at the national scale to help lead us to that economy. And that's why it's so critical to cut these speculative and consumption-oriented investments and invest in production and innovation and export-oriented growth.
The list is even longer of the kind of things we need to support with smart investments. You know, you could say a nationwide network of advanced industries, innovation centers, regionally based, designed to work on tough problems and catalyze near-term and medium-term and long-term growth in our regions. And the manufacturing sector would be crucial. We had a great program, Build America Bonds, in the Recovery Act. We should renew that. We have huge needs for infrastructure and state and local development. Let's return to that. let's designate 20 manufacturing universities in America that are specially equipped to work closely with industry to solve problems, and again, build our ability to export. We can go on with crucial and huge needs in education, training, social programs. It will not be hard to designate the targets for investment. It just needs to comport with this new vision of a more productive, export-oriented America.
If you want to have a functioning economy, and a functioning economy basically requires smart and strategic investments, you better have your federalist system working together. That really doesn't happen here for the most part, except when we have natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy. And what we're basically arguing is, why don't we just act like it's a natural disaster every day and have our federal government act in the service of our cities, metros, and states, right? I mean, they're at the vanguard of our economy, so why don't we have our federal government working closely, president, congressional leaders with their governors, with their mayors, with their private and civic leaders, to get the country moving again. We think this is common sense. What we would do is set up a unit in the federal government where the federal government would basically take the priorities of the cities and metropolitan areas in the states, those key projects, whether they're infrastructure projects or investments in innovation, and we would greenlight them and we would fast track them and we would get them done quickly so we could grow jobs. That's what we need to do. That's what happens in natural disasters. Last time I checked, the economy is a man-made disaster and we need to fix it.